Hello students, welcome to today's lecture. So in this lecture, we are going to see about LP-WAN fundamentals, which is one of the cellular system network communication, wireless communication, that is Sigfox. So it is a cellular style, long range, low power, low data rate form of wireless communications that has been developed to improve the wireless connectivity for the devices like remote sensors, actuators, and other machine to machine and IoT device. So we are going to see the detail. So Sigfox is a company that is created in 2010 in France. So it headquarters near Toulouse in France. So in collaboration with the various network operators in each country as partners. So it provides a global wireless networks that aims to enable low power wide area solutions in the continuously evolving world of IoT. So it is a French global network operator and also builds the wireless networks to connect low power objects like electricity meters and smart watches, which is need to be continuously on and emitting small amount of data. So the introduction part, the Sigfox is another proprietary low power wide area network technology which is developed for long range IoT networks. So Sigfox network operators, that is SNO, deploy the base stations that is equipped with cognitive software defined radios and connect the BS to the IP based backbone network. So it follows a similar approach to cellular network operators, but differentiating in the sense of providing services to the devices that are characterized by low power consumption and consequently by low cost performance. So already being deployed in more than 45 countries. So Sigfox vision is to become a global leader in the sector of low power wide area networks and IoT connectivity. So the end devices which employ the binary phase shift keying modulator, which uses an ultra narrow band with a 100 Hz transmission channel to offer a transmission rate of 100 bits per second. So the downlink which can support up to 800 bits per second. So similar to that LoRaWAN, Sigfox network operators deploy the base stations. Okay, so with the cognitive software defined radios and the downlink which can support up to 800 bits, then transmission channel with ultra bandwidth of 100 Hz. The system uses 8000 channels which the base station can listen to simultaneously using the software defined radio. So the standard operates in the sub-gigahertz ISM, industrial, scientific and medical frequency band for similar to that of LoRa. So this system uses an unslotted Aloha based MAC protocol, which is a contention based protocol. So the transmission of this narrowband system, which can be interfered with by other transmissions, particularly systems using wideband ISM channels. So to maintain high transmission reliability, the system transmits each message 3 times on different frequency channels, utilizing the time and frequency diversities. So the Aloha protocol can offer reasonable output at a very low input traffic. So hence the system restricts the amount of data that can be transmitted by each device. So in the system, the traffic restriction is also maintained to conform with regional transmission power limitation as well as dictated by 1% duty cycle restriction in Europe. So the system supports a very small payload of 12 bytes and 8 bytes on the uplink and downlink. So the technology which is used in this Sigfox, So that is ultra narrow band, and then duty cycle and sleep mode, and the frequency and time diversity and spatial diversity. As for the ultra narrow band, as for the technology is concerned, so the Sigfox utilize the part of the unlicensed short range devices, that is SRD 860 and ISM frequency band, that is 868 MHz in the European region and 915 MHz in the US region. So more specifically, in order to deliver each message, it utilizes 192 kilohertz of the SRD 860 band based on the ultra narrow band modulation technique. So that means every message requires only 100 hertz in order to transmit it. So leading to a data rate equal 100 bits per second in the region of Europe as a consequence. So due to ultra narrow band modulation, each message's powers with concentrated within a very small bandwidth. Okay, so very small bandwidth, and that is the reason why Sigfox technology is resilient to interference and noise level as depicted in the picture. So for transmissions from the devices to the base stations, Sigfox uses differential binary phase shift keying, that is DPSK modulation. So for downlink transmission which are less frequent, Gaussian frequency shift keying, that is GFSK technique is used. So next one is the duty cycle and sleep mode. So according to EDSI regulations regarding the usage of publicly available short range devices, that is SRD 860 frequency band, just available in 1% of the time. 140 messages of length, which is equal to maximum 12 bytes each, can be transmitted per day for the uplink transmission. So up to 12 bytes per message might not sound like a lot of data to demanding users, but in fact it is proven to be more than enough for classical IoT cases. So such cases include asset tracking by sending assets GPS coordinates, that is equal to 6 bytes, monitoring of the climate changes by sending the temperature values 2 bytes, and so on. So on the other hand, the downlink transmission, so only 4 messages of length equal to maximum 8 bytes each, which can be transmitted per day. So therefore it can be noticed that the relation between uplink and downlink in Sigfox technology is clearly asymmetric, and therefore there cannot exist downlink acknowledgement for every single uplink message. However, not using the channel 99% of the time, that means the devices are in sleep mode. Okay, and then you end up saving a lot of battery life and eventually lead to important cost reduction. So here the 99% which is using the very low value of current. So if there is any communication, so this much amount of electricity can be used, current can be used. So other than the ideal state, the consumption has been reduced. So the Sigfox turns to the sleep mode condition. So next one, frequency and time diversity. In order to compensate for the lack of acknowledgements for each uplink message, Sigfox takes advantages of frequency and time diversity. So the device transmits the same message 3 times using 3 different time slots. Frame 1 at one time slot, frame 2 at different time slot, and frame 3 at another time slot. So each having a different frequency. So with a different frequency. So next is spatial diversity. So base stations that the device is within their region or range, you will receive the transmitted message, ensuring that there is a spatial diversity. Okay, so the different area. Okay, so the spatial diversity is shown in this Sigfox. Okay, so here the gateways and the end device have a different diversities. Okay, so it may be of different, it may follow different protocols. So next we are going to move the network architecture. So Sigfox not only partners with network operators in each country, but also builds its own base stations in order to deploy its own network around the globe. Because of the frequency band used in the Sigfox, the propagation and the coverage work pretty much similar to traditional cellular network systems. Here the Sigfox networks, the data transmitter, which may be different devices. Here the storage of data is in the Sigfox cloud and customer portals. So the deployed base stations have therefore a wide area of coverage and can be limited to just a few base stations in order to satisfy the needs of a whole area. So the principal network architecture of Sigfox is shown. So the network is forming a star topology. So the data transmitters, which usually sensors that perform smart metering applications. So which can be connected to the Sigfox base station using the air as a medium. So using air as a medium, so the data can be transmitted just like radio frequency waves. Once the messages are received by the base stations, then they are directed to the Sigfox cloud network. So after receiving the message, the data can be transmitted to the Sigfox cloud network with using existing 3G or 4G or 4G network or Ethernet backhaul by mobile network providers. As a final stage, they are directly debited to Sigfox backend server and directly at the customer portal applications. The customers are able to create callbacks or further applications in order to exploit the messages content in the way they need. So next one is the security. So security is most important issues that the IoT industry has to face. Data alongside its transmission must have a certain characteristics such as integrity, confidentiality, and authentication in order to avoid any unfortunate and harmful scenarios. So Sigfox implements several layers of security starting from the device itself and ending to the application of the web server. So starting from the device to the web server, so their security plays a major role. So in order to initiate the transmission and communication with the Sigfox cloud, each message have a unique authentication key which is secret. So in order to access the cloud, each message has a unique key. Okay, so unique authentication key. So then the device transmit their encrypted message to the base stations using this secret key and create a unique signature for every single message. So in order to avoid redundancy of the same message, so duplication of message, the sequence number is added to the radio packet frame. So moreover, as far as the radio transmission side is concerned, the fact that each device sends 3 messages in different times and frequencies, and also adds an additional layer of security since the choice of the receiving base station is not fixed in advance. So in addition, the deployment of ultra narrowband modulation in combination with the space diversity. So that is 3 base stations receiving the same message, which reassures the integrity of the data, preventing any loss due to interference or jamming from other sources. So regarding the transmission from the base stations to the Sigfox cloud, the connection is being established using a secure and encrypted virtual private network. So on the top of that, Sigfox cloud is visualized and replicated on various private data centers on different locations. So finally, the customer connects to the backend server, that is a cloud, to exploit their data through APIs or callbacks using the robust HTTP protocol. So it is worth to be noted that while a device is in sleep mode, it becomes immune to any form of communication from possible hackers or eavesdroppers, which make it work like a built-in firewall system. So this is all about Sigfox technology. So far we have studied about the history and introduction and the features and the network architecture with the security. Thank you for listening.